Hello and welcome to episode 11 of our Timberborn Update 6 Folktales playthrough. Here is cycle 18, day 1. Brand new cycle for us. Last time, we got our storage area for our food situation a little bit better organized, although there's still plenty left to do. Some things we haven't got storage over here yet for, but we'll get that taken care of today. But the main focus that I wanted to get to in this episode was working on our well-being a little bit. And even though this says 22 average, it could be a whole lot higher if we would spend a little bit of time focusing on some social life stuff and aesthetics and maybe some monuments as well. Now that the food and water situation is, as far as I'm concerned for right now, more or less completely taken care of. Obviously, there's a couple things we could continue to improve, and we will do, but if we spend a little bit of time trying to reorganize our housing a little bit, put some other fun things for beavers to do, so on and so forth, that will make them live longer, which will mean we don't have to have quite as many of them, because right now we have 4 open spots. We got 2 kids, 81 adults. The longer they live, the less time they're going to be spending as children, comparatively, so little things help. Little things help. Obviously, we do still need to have a larger population and take care of other things as well, but we will get there when we get there. Other things might be sprinkling in construction of our little bypass thing here. That's going to take a long time, though, so it's not really something that can just be done in one episode. We did, in the live stream things, we spent, I don't know, 4 streams doing it. That was like, I don't know, 15 hours worth of stuff. Obviously, it's a different situation that was a lot more complex, but since we're here, we can start to think about how we want to organize things. Obviously, we can do these 6x1 overhangs if we feel so inclined, but it's really not that much more expensive to just use more and more of the smaller ones. I know we only have the 4x's unlocked. We're going to need to do a couple more, but I'm pretty sure using maybe just the 4s and the 3s, we could have a reasonably successful bypass thing going right here. Not the biggest priority, but if we find ourselves with a little bit of downtime and some excess materials, then maybe that's worth doing. Like right now we have our 300 metal blocks. We probably need to have more storage for those, but we can also go ahead and start using them to actually construct things. And of course our science situation is going to dictate a lot of that as well. Obviously it takes time to get stuff done, but it is what it is. It's perfectly fine. We'll just let stuff get built as it needs to get built and move on from there. Like these 3x1 overhangs, going to be useful to have for other purposes as well. So we'll just go ahead and line those there. And then say right here, same kind of deal. Just build our little platforms and give them plenty to do with that. Of course, keeping this 4 blocks wide so we can put our water wheels in there if we so choose, which I think we might want to eventually. But that'll give them a little bit of something to work on once we grant them access down into this area, which is going to be, I guess, another fun problem for us to solve without ladders. We'll get it figured out. Not going to be that big of a deal. All I've got to do is just put in a staircase here. No, it's not a staircase. Staircase here, and then a path right over the top of that. So that'll give them something to do up here. Like I said, primary focus long-term this episode is going to be on improving all of the well-being, and obviously there's stuff we can do with that as well. So biggest focus, I think, is probably going to need to be opening this area up. That seems like it would be a great spot for an agora, like we mentioned last episode. All we would have to do is just start relocating some of these houses, clear this space out, and put the entrance in a nice location. So, biggest culprit we have right now for space wasting is these single lodges. These are, well, they're the same footprint as the double lodges, but they sleep half as many beavers. And then, of course, the triple lodges sleep 9, half again as many as the double lodge. And obviously, it still occupies a little bit more space, but it is less dense. What I'm getting at here. So, we're going to need to start dismantling. Why have they not built the frogs? Ah, treated planks. Yep. All right. Well, we can safely get rid of the frog statue then, because there's no treated planks to be had yet. That is something that we can work on eventually, getting stuff figured out. But you see, like right around this area here, I have these lodges, and then I guess slightly below those I've got, well, it's not going to show everything because of how I have stuff selected, but I've got them on stilts here. The smarter thing to do is just put the double lodges right here and then just build on top of them. So that is what we'll start doing. Obviously, we have these free bed spaces. Got to be careful about how much we can delete at any given time, or we're going to have problems with the beavers actually having somewhere to sleep. So if we go ahead and pause, just start taking this whole bit out here. We've done quite a bit in terms of damage to the housing stocks. Now there's, 10 homeless beavers once that gets all sorted out. Unless, oh, you know what? It might not, because this could be a spot up here. But we see right now we have this kind of jogged over like so. Maybe it would be better to just dynamite this out and make it a little bit cleaner. But I don't think we need to be afraid of things being a little bit cockeyed in terms of how houses are set up, because that adds a little bit of character. We can also put in some stuff in between for well-being on these paths here, like we have, for example, the contemplation spots. We've got other things we haven't really been doing too much of, like these, well, tooth grindstone we aren't going to really have to worry about, but medical beds, they're just kind of haphazardly placed. If we have some sort of strategy to how these things are going to go in, then maybe that's a smart idea. Maybe it's not. Who knows? But I do like the idea of having things that look nice, especially when you play Folktales, right? Because they're a faction that is much more focused on just enjoying stuff versus the regimented, cruel precision of the Iron Teeth. So while we're here, we might as well make it look nice. So these two doubles will replace the same amount of space that we removed when we started redoing stuff. And we did add a couple more blocks here for putting either tiny food storage, tiny water storage, or some sort of aesthetic or well-being minded thing. So we'll get those built. I don't think I'm going to have to specifically indicate that this needs to be a high priority thing, but they should be able to, the rest of today, take care of this once everything gets all locked and loaded. So that's good progress there. We'll continue improving things here and there, trying to eventually remove, say, specifically this house here is going to need to go, but it's going to have somewhere to go, depending on how we want to have stuff set up. Like this Agora here, I'm thinking would make the most sense to go maybe right like so in this spot here, and then just have the doorway facing up here. So if we're going to do that, all we have to do is just get rid of these contemplation spot and the path there, and then come in. See, yeah, actually, we just have to take that one house out, which I think we can survive without. But I'm not going to get rid of it until this other house is built. Oh, they almost made it. I think these are the last two logs. Yep. All right. Is anyone going to finish this? No. All right, well, I guess they're sleeping outside tonight because nobody wanted to do the last 10% of the work. For shame. Well, we'll speed through the night and let that get finished first thing in the morning then. And then we'll be in a bit of a better spot to get rid of this and take care of everything else. Now, the Agora, of course, does have to be unlocked with 400 science, which does mean we're going to have to wait a little bit. But all we have to do to make that happen is just get somebody in this inventor here, let them go for a little while, and then build a couple more inventors somewhere else. We did remove those to put these grills in here. So all we've got to do is just figure out a spot where that would make sense to have some. Oh, another thing people commented about was, hey, you don't need a forester here if none of these are getting replanted. You are correct. So I will pause it for now. We're going to want some more, trees planted over here eventually, but for right now, we don't need them to be there. This gatherer flag is obviously gathering the chestnuts. If there was space for more chestnuts, and actually I think there's yeah, there's nothing going on there. Tapper Shack doing both of those right there. That's looking fine. All right, so while we wait for the science, obviously 90 hours would be a couple beaver days. So I'm going to... Well, now I'm not so sure. I guess since we're on path here and we have nothing else going on, I might as well just pop another inventor or two over in this area just so we have them going. Maybe deprioritize those as workplaces. Well, not immediately because we are gonna need those for right now. But we can continue thinking about how we want stuff going here. Now these right here, there's not really much to gain by replacing these with doubles. But because of how we're going to be pathing out stuff, this would actually be better. This stack of lodge and lodge on top of lodge, say that one 5 times fast, would be better as a double because then you don't have to have the downstairs entrance. Along with this one right here. All of this could easily be replaced and then we wouldn't have to have this lodge here either, which needs to go away. Or does it? Actually no, that one's fine. We could leave that one there and even put another one right next door to it, depending on how we wanted to have stuff set up. You know what? Let's do that. Let's pop that guy in there. And then this doorway's right here. That'll work out just fine. Just fine. Now we have 3 empty beds, so this lodge can go bye-bye. And then all we've got to do is... I remember exactly where it was we're going to put this thing. Yeah, right there, which means this path can go away. Start routing them around the outside, as one does. Yeah, just like that. And I think, yeah, that's going to go away once everything gets replaced. I think we're going to be fine. All right, so let's hit pause just so we don't waste any time here while I'm thinking out loud. This path needs to be going along this way to match up with where the Agora is going to go. But wow, our monument's got to come down so we can so we can replace all these lodges with the doubles, which is unfortunate, but we'll make it work. Not going to be a big deal. So that solves that problem. Actually, this one didn't need to go away because I forgot it wasn't a double. Oh well. It's fine. We'll survive. Just make sure these are set in the correct spot like this right there. That's looking good. And then this here doesn't have to have the entrance on this corner. In fact, let's flip that to be there, because then I can remove this path, and this lodge can actually get a roof on top of it if we go into our 1x2s. Yep, that's going to work out nicely there. Rotate this to match where the doorway is. Same deal here. We don't have to have them on top of every single building, but I do think it's nice to do that. Let's check before we put something back on. Yeah, so this actually would make more sense to have on top of one of these guys. So, while we have this whole thing all completely torn up, we take this rooftop terrace off, and then this could go very nicely right here and cover all of the beaver housing in this district, unless I've made a mistake. Nope, looks like that's going to be just fine. So that'll work out there, which then means this can go away. Remember, we're going to be redoing all of this. We have a huge mess where everything is going right now. But they'll get everything built up, and we should be just fine right back where we were in terms of capacity-ish. Just let them take care of that. Now, meanwhile, let's see. Okay, they've built a couple of these. Making progress kind of slowly, but that is fine. When you're making use of all of our stuff, the log situation might need a little bit of attention, because we were trying to grow stuff for harvesting, and they're making their way through all this, which seems to be for the most part okay. I guess we'll just leave it alone for now. All right, so what kind of building has occurred here? We're making progress, folks. This one is just about done. So actually, we're going to be -1 for how this is currently set up. I believe it would make sense for us to take a look at how this has been constructed here. Yeah. I can replace this single with a double and have it empty out onto this platform that we've got here. And then, of course, we can continue building on top of all of this. Or we could just kind of leave it alone. I think it's fine right now. Either way, we just have to figure out what we're putting where and move along as required here. Now, we have this space. We could decide that we were going to put another regular lodge here, unless there's something else we would like to put, like, say, a frog statue. Might be a fun thing to put here, but we don't have the traded planks yet, so that's kind of a non-starter as far as that's concerned. But you know what we have right now is we have the science to unlock the Agora, so let's do that. Just have to decide which orientation we want. I think this probably, yeah, this probably would be fine this way. Unlock that, 400 science points. Now this does require the extract for their, I guess, rituals, which also means that, yes, we are going to have to come over here and start doing some Badwater processing. But we have the ability to do that, so it's really not that big of a deal. Just going to take a little bit of time. Got our 3-long suspension bridge is not quite long enough. Not quite long enough to get across this. I don't have the science to do the 4x, so I guess for right now we're just going to have to leave this as platforms. Have these guys come up the stairs here to do some Badwater pumping and then processing for all of our fun, I guess you could call it poison-related needs. So of course, the Badwater pump, we can just pretty much put in anywhere and then decide if we want to put another set of water wheels here. Obviously, like right here, it's not exactly the best setup for, you know, harnessing power, if anything, but I think it's going to work out just fine for powering a single centrifuge. So I guess we'll pop that in there. Give this guy right here something good to look at. Centrifuge, of course, has to be researched, which we don't have the science for quite yet, but we can start pumping the Badwater itself and making sure that we're all good to go on that. Now, if I put this here, then I can have this whole thing routed around. I don't think 3 Badwater per hour is going to be insufficient to power or control this, even though this is saying 4 Badwater per hour to make whatever extract stuff. I don't know. We'll see. This really is not a great setup for this. But no, see, the problem with doing the videos like I do them is I have to think out loud, and I have to do it in real time. So I can't really do too much pre-planning, or else stuff just doesn't end up working. But you know how it goes. To that end, you know what? It might be better. It might be better for us just to have this whole thing kind of isolated. Actually, no. You know, we have nope, never mind. I was thinking in water beavers terms, because I said, you know what? We could just do this and have 2x2 across here. But then I remembered that the paths don't go in from the side on the first block, the support block, and they're like, all right, forget it. we'll just go across with this again. It's fine. Now this goes across this side. That would be, I think, a much better place for us. Once we blast this out a little bit more, get rid of this, and then get rid of this, and maybe these right here. We'll be able to put 2 wide on the water wheels and make that happen. But at the very least, we can start pumping, and that'll be nice and easy. So we'll put 2 of those in there. Put a nice little storage. And by little storage, I mean medium storage. Just right there. Get that set to Badwater. And then once they take care of all of that, then we can worry about building everything else here. That should be fine. Obviously, this is not going to be finished until everything else before it has been taken care of. And in fact, since we don't have extract, I am going to pause this building so we don't use the resources unnecessarily. The farmer monument seems to be Okay, yeah, we got a lot of stuff on the ground that's got to get picked up. I guess they'll take care of that as they decide they're able to do so. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, and by the ranch I mean up here, yes, this is going pretty well. Obviously, this is going to take a really, really, really long time. That's just the way it goes. No real way around it. But we can go ahead and start placing these here. Make sure everything else is ready to go, so we don't have to worry about waiting for it later. They're going to take their sweet time doing that. We've got other trees. I hope they're all marked for cutting. They are good. I was kind of worried that I had forgotten to do that for some of these, but it seems like we are okay. Very good. There's also these trees down here that we probably want to be able to get to. So I will put I'll put a stairs right here. Grab these guys as well. They are marked. They are marked, and that's good. Just a long, long, long process to get all of this stuff taken care of. I guess we'll turbo through the rest of the night here. And they're, of course, going to have to build this as well. It all takes time, folks. It all takes time. Can't really do everything in a super fast fashion, nor is it always super interesting to do so. But now we have this space down here. Agora Contemplation spot kind of go together. But I don't know how much contemplation is going to be able to occur at the corner of like the back of 2 housing blocks. But maybe we'll do it anyway. That should be just fine. And then we have these 2 spaces here. So what I'm going to do, because of how this is set up, I'm going to put medical beds down here. And then I believe, yeah, we can put platforms on top of medical beds. And the reason I'm excited about that is because then we can come in, I'm not going to research this yet, but we can come in and we can put little roofs and stuff on top of these and give the benefits to the beavers that are healing at the same time, which is always good. Farmer Monument is in progress here, just about done. We still have an empty bed and a homeless beaver, so I guess we do need to do a little bit more optimization in how this whole area is set up. I think, I don't even know what to think, honestly, because I like the idea of this footprint for right now being more or less where all the beavers are going to live, because then I don't have to build more monuments to get them their well-being bonuses. But at the same time, I think it might start to become a little bit troublesome to get everything all sorted and put together in the right spot. I don't know. We've got some options, some different things we can do here. But what we can do is we can make sure that these houses have their appropriate roofing decorations placed upon them. I say as I fail to place it upon there. There we go. We're already increased just a tiny bit. The Agora will help, and all of the other stuff will help as well. We just have to be able to get it done. Okay, progress here is continuing. Oh, good. This is now that this is taken care of going to be much easier for us to deal with. And then, of course, I'm trying not to use too many logs at one point in time because we have a lot of planks that haven't been done yet, and we are processing a lot of those. Gears-wise, I don't really think we need any more gears right now. We will soon. Why is there nobody in the forest? Oh, it's because I deprioritized it. All right, well, we need to be replanting these trees because they take a very long time to go. So I think we might be able to solve all of our problems by bringing in some more beavers here. I just don't have any more beaver storage. I don't even have more houses for them to live in. So, easy thing to do would be to just build another double lodge right here. I get that constructed. Then I can bring 6 beavers over, and then we solve our homeless beaver problem in the other district. And add some more jobs to this one because we have, well, 6 vacancies, and we'll have 6 additional beavers. Ish. There's already 2 empty beds, so I guess we might not end up quite even on the math. Just depends on how things go. Oh, I need to prioritize this because they're focusing on building all of these overhangs, which is always fun. But once this is a little bit better situated, this is going to go straight across and then meet up with another one we're going to build from out here. But obviously, since this one is already set to divert with the Badwater, I'm not going to prioritize this until we need to. This one is not set to divert, so if we can get that taken care of first, that would be nice. Obviously, it's not going to be done before the next bad tide that comes in, but you know, you got to make incremental progress. That is the name of the game, folks. Hey, look, we've got a Badwater pump operating, or at least assigned here. The medium tank has not yet been built, so I will go ahead and prioritize that, because that is a little bit more important than having this other Badwater pump constructed, even though this basically was already done. Then over here, once we have everything else, you know, taken care of, this channel expanded maybe a little bit, then we'll be in much better shape to get stuff figured out here. We also need to start making dynamite, which is an entirely different can of worms. But I believe we can do it in a way that's going to make sense long term. Might not be this episode, because remember, this primary goal of this episode that I said at the beginning was to increase our well-being, which I guess it all ties into, but we want to make sure that we're taking care of everything that we can possibly take care of on the way toward that goal. And you might be saying, wow, the average well-being's gone down. Well, you would be correct. But we're working on it, folks. All right, so that place up there, minimum I'm going to increase to 26 beavers. That means we should be just about equal here. We obviously need to have one more beaver to fill all of the jobs that are currently unpaused. And we could stand to have some more for the hauling post as well. So, you know, it's a infinitely variable balancing act, right? You just have to figure out what works, and it's constantly changing, and it ends up being a pain, but hey, that's playing the game. Now, I've got 4 of these medical beds here now. I don't have any reason to delete these yet, but eventually they probably will be deleted, taken care of that way. This district still has empty beds, but there's 8 vacancies, which, of course, with the addition of these things up here, honestly probably should be part of this other district. In terms of, well, honestly, everything. Well, then that means I probably should be moving the district crossing down. Yeah, I should move that down here. I know this is going to end up causing some issues if I were to do that, but you know what? Let's just go ahead and rip off the Band-Aid. I guess that's the best way to go about it. We'll just get rid of this, and then I will place these right here. We'll put a platform and set of stairs in, and then hold on. Then this can go here, which will allow us to then come in this way and just have these connect directly here instead of all that other stuff. So I will end up cutting this off for the time being, but they should be able to take care of that relatively quickly. Get that done, and then of course the district crossing can go away. And it's a drought, which is good, because I was hoping to have this quote-unquote complete before the next bad tide came in. Did we get the stairs in? No, we did not. I guess that's not a priority yet, but that's fine. There's still other trees to cut down. Get replanted, etc. So that's looking fine. Looking just fine. Cool. Cool. Should see this just about complete. Which does mean that we're going to have to get rid of this. Yep, and now that's connected. All good to go. There's junk on the ground. They'll pick it up. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know if it's going to end up being put back into this storage. I doubt it. But eventually it'll get picked up. I know that's like a hot topic of discussion in the comments, but hey, that's fine. We will be okay. But now this is part of this district here. That place up there, got Zippy Boo, and I sure wish I could read what characters those were, sorry. But got them up here, taking care of that. Got a nice storage of Badwater, which means I believe we found something we can do with all of our extra space up here. I've got the science to unlock the explosives factory, so we just have to decide, would we rather have explosives first, or would we rather have a centrifuge first to make the extract so we could use our agora? Well, I think it's the answer is probably centrifuge, which would be a more important thing for us to have. We don't have the 600 quite yet, so let's fast forward a little bit till we get to 600, or almost 600, and I click wrong. And then we'll go ahead and unlock this. And then I probably should place this in a place that is immediately beneficial and useful, but we might end up having to put it somewhere else. I don't know, because we're gonna have to export. Obviously I want all the Badwater processing to be over here, but we're not quite there yet. I have this downward power shaft cannot be forked. It would have to be see, I kind of wish they'd added a piece that would fork more than once like this. I understand why they didn't do that way, but it's just going to create some more challenges for us here. I guess the easiest thing to do then is going to be to replace that with a T intersection. I'll just get rid of that one log. Nobody cares. Yeah, let's do this. We'll place this T intersection here, and then what I can do is I can build the Badwater processing buildings, I guess just kind of right here, because we can come up through the bottom. I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do. All right, so bring forth the logs, get this constructed. Thank you very much. And then this here obviously can go right like so. The universal power shafts would have been fantastic for this purpose, but unfortunately not the case. We could, I guess, instead of doing this chicanery here, I could have just put the building here and used the building itself to transmit power, but I do like the idea of the additional flexibility. Just kind of rerouting different branch lines allows us to have. So we'll do this first. Hopefully that gets finished before the end of the day, because then we're going to have to put something else in. Come on now. Alright, so that's done. These stairs are done. So what we can do now is I can just pop this in here, which will allow us to build a building directly on top of this. And I believe it's not going to be done by the end of the day, but it is going to be all set, ready to go. And then finally, after, of course, I have everything else taken care of, we can put either the centrifuge here or we can put some other powered building. But I do like the idea of this being at least kind of separate. I don't know, building in line with the slopes here, I've never really been a huge fan of. I know a lot of you like that. That's fine. But it ends up being substantially more complicated than I think I care for. But, you know, it takes all kinds of things to make an interesting and satisfying playthrough. So that is the goal, right? It's not to just, quote-unquote, be right all the time. Sometimes you got to do stuff you're not really a huge fan of, but it still is going to give you a good result. Speaking of not a huge fan of, I really don't like when this happens. But the way this is set up currently, it's not really that much of a good way to avoid it, except if I were to rotate, and then I could put another contemplation spot, or I could do a decoration, like maybe a nice beaver statue, which I don't have the science to unlock yet, but that can get fixed very easily. Are we just waiting for the gears on this one, right? So let's hope they bring that in sooner rather than later. Very good. All right. The other question we're going to have to ask ourselves is it better to put in the centrifuge facing the door this way or facing this way and remove those stairs, because power transmission can only occur off the other 3 sides, not where the door is? Or do we decide that, you know what, it really doesn't matter, we shouldn't even worry about it, we should instead just focus on getting literally anything done? I don't know. I think it's going to make more sense to just put it this way and then blow this up so we can have the stairs come down a little bit more. But there is accessibility via this set of stairs that we could easily just reroute everything through, which I guess we kind of already have. And then there we go. Now this is going to take 40 gears, which are going to have to be either made or imported. And we'll worry about that when we get to it. But we have a nice full storage of Badwater where we can use our centrifuge to fuge, I suppose. And now that that's in progress there, we can unpause the Agora and get that started as well. Hopefully they're going to be able to get that done with any reasonable amount of time. And we will need to continue to add some other things to improve our beaver well-being, because the Agora is going to be a nice bump, but it's not going to be huge. I think it's like a +2? It's not going to tell me until it happens. But the rooftop terraces we ripped out are also going to need to be replaced. We just have to decide exactly where that's going to be. I'm not entirely sure about that quite yet. So, since we are over here, we have the ability to affect change on other things as well. Like, for example, bringing these stairs up here, and I hear you saying in the comments, wait, there's a cliff face here. You can't go there. We're going to have dynamite soon. So we'll just get rid of this. And that's going to help give us another way to get up here. And that should be a-okay. We also are going to want to get this connected. And I know we went through the effort of having both of these up here, but these medical beds, I am going to get rid of them in favor of, or that one at least, in favor of having these stairs here so we can have this whole area connected on this side. We've got a lot of stuff to do, right? A lot of stuff to do. Not really going to be a perfect solution. You know what? You know what? How could I have been so dense to not remember that I could just do this? I could just put stairs here. And guess what? We can have more storage. We got our grilled potatoes, we got our bread. This up here immediately can become something else that would be super useful. Like the grilled spatterdock. That was a comment we got last episode saying, hey, you don't have a huge storage for that yet. Well, friends, guess what? That's what's there now. And of course, we're going to get this replaced with pathing here so we can build something else here. But that should help us get everything else taken care of. Very, very, very good. It's a process, right? You got to make some compromises. I believe the expression is you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet, or I don't know. I hope that's not attributed to a terrible person or I'm going to get canceled, but that's okay. I think for right now we have so many unfulfilled jobs here. Well, actually no, in that place up there we don't. So these guys are fine to just chill out doing nothing all day while the Badwater source is not going. I'm more concerned about down here. Yeah, see, we have seven kids, and we have 9 open spots. So we still do. Oh, good, this is finished. Of course, the ritual materials are not ready yet because the centrifuge is not currently working. But we will very soon have this be completed, just as soon as the gears are all taken care of. I wonder if they're going to re-import them up here, or if we're going to have to wait. There's so much on the ground here we got to take care of. Well, they'll do it eventually. We don't need to spend our time worrying about it. How's okay, so this is actually Actually waiting on some more stuff to do. So if we do those levees there, planks wise, I think we're doing fine. Just keep bringing this on this way, and you know the drill. The 4x1s will continue to be relevant here. In fact, I can put another one here if I really felt like it. That's a lot of plank storage used. I think that's going to be fine, because I am going to want to have the rest of this, of course, be storage, and that's the best way to make that happen. Remember, folks, it's a long-term project. How's our gravity batteries doing? Yep, they are gravity batterying. Probably should have put another one of those in this episode, but you know how it goes. You know how it works. Need 11 more gears. Obviously, this is not going to be as fast of a process with just the one. But I don't think we need to worry about making too many more gears right now, especially while our population's still comparatively very low. I have other things we probably should be focusing on. This should get finished relatively soon as well. I guess. See, I don't want to just replace the rooftop terrace up here with another rooftop terrace. I think this lodge is going to have to get replaced with a double. I'll just put that right there, and then of course we have space here to put in some other stuff. There's no rule that says these lodges have to stay here. We don't need to keep them here. I just have them here, and I haven't had a good reason to get rid of them, so that is going to be how that's going to continue to operate, at least for right now. So that gives them something to do, I suppose. Still only have the one homeless beaver, which for temporary purposes is going to be fine. Just about there on the gears, folks. We will end this episode at the end of the drought, so hopefully that gets done before then. Trying to keep these not quite as long, focused a little bit more, although one could argue this one has not been that focused. But we did set out with the initial goal of improving well-being, which I guess technically we have accomplished, because now it's 23 instead of 22. But it'll continue to go up as we continue to improve all of our storage. Like, we have 6,300 food. That's great. Making really good progress there. I just need to see this centrifuge up and running before we're all finished with this episode. And then I think we can consider that to be a rousing success. And there it goes. All right, cool. So that's going to get stuff hauled in. Of course, we'll have to have a better storage for the Badwater itself to bring that out here, and we'll have to have a storage for the extract. All things that are going to need to get done. We just right now don't have a great setup for that, so I will just for right now put these 3 tanks here. Put 2 extracts and 1 Badwater, just so we have somewhere to put some of that stuff. They'll need to get logs as well. And there's a couple other things that are going to need to have the logs, like the bakeries. I remember somebody mentioned that. Need to have a log storage. And we have space, I guess, right here, just for a small one. Just put some log storage there. Hopefully that ends up helping. And this district, take this back down. Oh, the ceremony started. I really want to know what the text was that they had people chanting to record this. Either that or it was just like no actual words. So I don't know, like the Charlie Brown teacher or something, but I guess it's working. The Agora is in fact working. And it looks like, wow, this actually could be, if that's 0.8, this could be a +3. Because 0.8 would not be there if it was only a +2. Maybe it's I don't know how the math works. But hey, this grilled spatterdock is taken care of, which means was it only stored in the it was only stored in the grill, I think. That's not spatterdock. That's okay. Cool. All right. So that was a very, very good thing that we needed to have done anyway. So that's good to see. We have the ability to store more stuff up here, but I've been reluctant to expand our storage hugely in that way because we don't really have enough logs yet. We've been building a whole lot of stuff, so you know, it takes time. It takes time to get stuff done. Okay, we have 9 open jobs, 6 children, and 5 empty beds, so I guess we're still kind of okay on the housing balance here. We're gonna make it work, folks. It's gonna be fine. Meanwhile, now we have 6 vacant jobs, 1 incapacitated, 4 empty beds, 3 kids. I think we're probably also okay here. But we will need to very soon explore adding additional housing, which I think the dynamite's going to help us with once we get to that too. And it all takes time, folks. It all takes time. But we'll go ahead and I guess let more of these beavers come experience whatever effects these extract has on them, and then chalk that up as a technical success. A very small one, but a technical success in our goal for this episode of having the well-being become improved and take care of other things as well. Obviously, there's still tons of stuff that still needs to get done. It's a very, very slow process, especially when you only have 84 beavers, but we are getting things accomplished, and that's what matters. That's what matters. We've got, obviously, more water needs to get brought in here, but that's not going to be a problem. So there you have it, folks. That's going to be the end of this one. Like I said, still technically accomplished something toward our goal, but you can't really predict how long stuff is going to take when you have these large projects that have all these different interlocking parts. Even if it's not a huge mega build project, just something as simple as having, say, the increase in well-being that has, oh, okay, build the building that increases the well-being. Okay, well, that building requires resource X, Y, Z, and then you have to start the production chains for those. It's a whole thing. But hopefully you can understand and appreciate that. I'm very thankful for you guys watching these videos, providing helpful comments, good engagement and everything. These videos have been doing extremely well. I'm extremely pleased with the reception on everything, and the comments, helpful and critical, are always welcome. It's a let's play, not a watch me play, of course, as I always say, because your input matters, and I'm very, very interested in getting you engaged and involved as much as possible. So, Beard Boosters as well. Obviously, you've been seeing their names scroll past on the screen, all 762 of them, or whatever the number is up to now. Thanks to the generous folks in the live stream chats for gifting memberships for everybody. But I really do appreciate all of the contributions, whether it's gifting a whole bunch of memberships, whether you're just a member yourself, or even if you're not, even if you're just here watching one video and you comment and say hi, whatever. I appreciate you, and I'm very, very, very glad we get to spend this time together. It truly is an amazing game. You guys are an amazing community, and I really, really look forward to getting to do this every single time I record a video or have a live stream or whatever. So whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, have a fun and a safe time. We've got, hopefully, if I have the time, another Prison Architect video tomorrow, and then Water Beavers on Sunday, another video in this series on Monday. And then next week when I'm back to normal, we'll, of course, be back to the full 7-day upload schedule, live streams as well. But appreciate you bearing with me while I've been taking some time, quote-unquote, off to go visit family and do some important stuff. So appreciate the support, as always. Take care, friends. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.